right. Welcome to the Fresh Start Podcast here. I'm Dave Henning, and I've got with me today my good friend, Russell Kaye, and he is the president and radio sports personality of Music Dreams, USA Radio Worldwide, and Vox Sports and Football Fanatic. Hello, Russell. Welcome.
Hey, how are you, Dave, man? Thanks for having us, man. We appreciate you. How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Who couldn't be better, right? With all the fun technical stuff we go through to be big shot celebrities for at least 15 minutes, right?
There you go.
So let me ask you, Russell. Man, we've been knowing each other literally for years, and you both of us been connected. You know, the old saying, "Radio gets in your blood," and we've been around the block with all the stuff we've done. So, how did Music Dreams USA Radio Worldwide? How did that get started?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. You're right. We both come from a radio TV background. I went to the Columbia School of Broadcasting, and I knew one day, I would maybe love to own a radio station one day. So I was actually driving through Beckley, West Virginia. So if there's anyone from Beckley, hello. So we were driving through Beckley, West Virginia, and this idea just popped into my head. And at first I thought, well, nah, this can't be real, right? So I kept on driving because I was actually on my way to New York to go do an event. And then it came, this thought came back even stronger the second time around. And so I pulled my car over. I'm like, no, this can't be real. So I pulled my car over, and the name Music Dreams USA Radio just like popped in my head. I didn't even know about it. I wasn't even planning. I mean, I knew one day that I'd open up a radio station, but I didn't know when, how, and why. And so it took place in Beckley. I pulled over. The name Music Dreams USA Radio popped in my head. I'm like, I'm about to see if this is just, this fallacy, or is it just, me dreaming right now? So I got my phone and I Googled the name Music Dreams USA Radio USA. And to find out, no one had that name. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I called my producer up. I'm like, I need you to get online and book Music Dreams USA Radio, like right now. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, when I get back in town, I'll tell you. It's like, all right. So in 5 minutes, he books the name Music Dreams USA Radio. And from that point, today actually in January, we turned 4 years old. We do a lot of stuff for the NFL. We interview up and coming artists, from Nashville, pretty much all over. We support small businesses as well. And, in a short period of time, in 4 years, we've had the opportunity. I've interviewed the Harlem Globetrotters, a lot of NFL players. And, in 4 years, it's been a magical ride. And, we met some really amazing people. And, I'm super excited about what tomorrow brings for our radio station.
Oh, that's very cool. So Harlem Globetrotters, I remember my mom and dad up in Rochester, New York, took me to see them at the big War Memorial Convention Center there when I was a kid, and they were just absolutely amazing. What was the old timer? He's gone now. Meadowlark Lemon. I'd come.
Yes.
So
yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. So who did you get to talk to? I'm just curious. You remember?
Just of the other two members that they had, and the funny thing about it, we were doing a celebrity golf tournament up in the Carolinas. And I actually had those guys sing the karaoke "My Girl" by Temptations.
Wow!
Yeah, God, it was pretty wild. I mean, those guys are super cool, and that's one thing you love about when you interview people, right? I mean, a lot of people who interview are really down to earth, cool guys, and they just like to have fun. And so during that interview, I just the ideas like popped in my head. You and I probably interviewed so many different people along the way, and you know how the feeling is like, you never plan on doing something, all of a sudden it happens. And that's kind of what happened here, where we were doing an interview with the Globetrotters. I'm like, hey, you guys want to do some karaoke? He's like, yeah, let's do "My Girl" by Temptations. And sure enough, we had that song queued in our queue, and we were able to make it happen, and the whole place exploded. So it was pretty wild.
that is very cool. I kind of brag. It's not really bragging, but I won a karaoke contest in Vegas years ago singing Chuck Berry, "Johnny Be Good."
Oh, come on!
I did. I even did the little duck walk that Chuck Berry does, and I won a free T-shirt, which no longer exists because I probably can't even get it on anymore.
You want to admit that, Dave?
Well, that was long time ago. But is a lot of fun for sure. What about some of the NFL players you've been connected with and talked to and things like that? And you do something with the Buffalo Bills, right?
We we don't work for the Buffalo Bills, but
Right.
we do a lot of reporting. We report, we cover that team in the springtime. We open up our second location. We have two locations, one in Charlotte, NC, in Clover, South Carolina. We also open up one in Niagara Falls, New York in the springtime. So we have two locations now for Music Dreams USA Radio, and that's where we partner up with Vox Sports. They're really big. They cover the Sabres Mafia. They have over 20,000 people in their group right now. And we also open up a brand new show on YouTube. It's called Football Phanatics. You can join me and my buddy, Mr. David Florio. To answer your question, though, we've interviewed like Calvin Sweeney, Levon Kirkland. We've interviewed so many different people. For those, just to name a few. And it's been amazing, just to have the opportunity to interview those guys. Again, we're only 4 years old and still growing, still kind of new, if you will. And just to have those opportunities, it certainly has been a blessing.
Yeah, you've really, like myself, you've really had quite a journey, let's say. So, look, I'm looking at your impressive background, and even though you're, quote, the new kid on the block, supposedly, we've all, it's kind of like the old saying, he was an overnight success after 25 years.
Yeah, it took that long.
Yeah. So with your impressive background, Russell, tell me, is there a highlight that really kind of stands out to you, and why would you say that?
I've been blessed to do a lot of really cool things, to be honest. But if you really want me to pick one, it would probably be our celebrity golf tournaments that we do. And
Cool.
and the reason why, these tournaments are set, to raise money for needy families or needy communities, especially now in today's world where, people are hurting right now.
Yeah.
People are, the job, people don't want to work no more. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And with these celebrity tournaments, so we get to go to a location and we get to, go there for the day and raise money and give it back to the community to help them in certain situations. So, that's one of the things that Music Dreams USA Radio is really big on. We all about supporting upcoming small businesses, artists, communities. If there's something we do, we want to be a part of it, because I feel like if we get in there and we show that we love those people and want to help them, it's only going to be good for everybody. So it's kind of hard to pick one. So I probably would have to go with the just doing all these celebrity golf tournaments we've had the opportunity to do to raise money for needy families, communities, especially with the COVID and everything going on right now.
Sure.
Just a lot of crazy things going on.
Well, obviously, like everybody, like you're saying, we've all expressed challenges that we're bumping into, running into, getting run over by.
Right.
And so what are some of the challenges letting people, really knowing what you're doing? We want to support you also and let people know, hey, you need to talk to Russell Kaye. He's got a really good thing going on here, and maybe he can help your small business or something like that. How can we let people know more what's happening with you?
That's a great question. And, I will start off by saying that Music Dreams USA Radio is fully funded by us. We don't have an investor. We don't have advertisers. Our radio station is fully vested by us. And so one of the goals in the dreams, if you will, is to maybe one day get hooked up with an investor or an advertiser who can see what we're doing. And I feel like if we can just cross that bridge, we can get the word out to many people. As I mentioned earlier in the show, Music Dreams USA Radio, we are a professional internet streaming radio station, but we have a worldwide listening audience. We can reach anyone, anytime, any place, whether it's a business, whether it's a person, whether it's an artist, whatever the case may be, we can reach you. And that's the good thing about what we do is, with a historical station where you and I grew up in, they only can broadcast in a certain area, right?
Right.
But with Music Dreams USA Radio, we have the ability, we can broadcast anywhere, anytime, any place. And, we also stream music. That's another thing that we do. Where if you are a business owner, and we do the best mix of the 70s, 80s, 90s in the country, we can also personalize a playlist for you, and we can send you a link, and you can actually stream our music live. We're fully licensed under the Live 365 platform, so as far as licensing and all that stuff goes, we're fully protected. And so streaming music is one thing. We can also stream live remotes from your location as well. We can also do advertising promotions for artists, small businesses as well. They can actually support maybe a portion of a show during the day. Will it be like a lunch hour, dinner hour, morning show, whatever the case may be? So there's many opportunities. We also can do like your podcast as well. If there's any podcasters out there, we can also support podcasts as well. So Music Dreams USA Radio has a wide variety of services. And if they were to go to our website, musicdreamsusa.com, they would be able to see all the services that we have. And again, the pricing, all that, it would all depend on what they're looking for. But I can say one thing, though, our pricing would be definitely a lot cheaper than would cost someone to try to advertise at a stereo station, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So having said that, let me ask you this. So what I hear you saying is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is let's say that somebody sponsors a music segment or a lunchtime or something like that at your very reasonable rates. I've seen your rates very, I say reasonable, more than reasonable. But so if somebody sponsors some music or lunchtime or something like that, would your licensing allow them to actually play basically their show with a commercial for them, let's say like at their store or something? Would that be okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're certain right. So we would work with them on a personalized playlist. Now, keep in mind, the music be coming from our studios. The music will not be played at their location. Everything will be done in our studios. So the personalized playlist and the promotions will all be done, uploaded to our server. The only thing we're doing is sending them a link. And all they do is they take that link and however they download their music, they can take that link. They can cover if they have one store, if they have 1,000 stores, it doesn't matter. It's that link will cover everything they have, and all the music will be here. So under the Live 365 platform, we are fully licensed, and so they are as well, and so they're fully protected. Yeah, we definitely do things the right way, and I know for a fact that that there would never be any issues if they choose to choose that something to do like that.
Oh, very cool. Excellent. Well, so let me ask you this question that I like to ask people, different and unique questions. So I'm going to ask you this. If you could interview anybody in the world or United States or anywhere, live or dead, somebody that you would love to meet, have lunch with, and set up an interview with, who might that be?
Dave Henning.
Who? Who the heck is that? I never heard of him.
No, Frank Sinatra.
Ooh.
I would love. I mean, that guy is an absolute him or Elvis. Frank Sinatra, Elvis.
Yeah.
Someone like that. I mean, those guys were superstars and were very instrumental in the music business. So with me, if I'm being an AR for Sony Records and being in the music business for a long time, it would be so cool if I can hang out for one day with Elvis Presley. Well, obviously that never would happen. Bless his soul. And then also Frank Sinatra as well. Bless his soul as well. So it would be really cool if I had the opportunity to hang out with those guys. That would be really, really awesome.
Well, I've never had a chance to see Elvis in person or anything like that, but I'm going to make you semi-jealous. Perhaps maybe you don't have the gift of jealousy in your bones, but when I was working for WPXY, Rochester, New York, we'd always get a lot of free tickets for this and that. I got to see old Blue Eyes in the nosebleed section in Buffalo, New York.
At the auditorium?
Yeah, we were up there, way up the top for all the free ticket section, and got to see Frank come in. It was kind of when his career was waning, and he actually did not have a warm-up band. He actually had a Las Vegas comedian that was his warm-up band, and old Frank comes out walking between these. It was kind of like those red ropes you see at a theater, and his humongous bodyguards were walking with him, and this little old Italian lady steps over the red banner with her little Instamatic camera to get a picture of Frank.
Wow.
And his humongous bodyguards kind of gently helped her to get back over. But to hear him sing, New York, New York, and all of the great, Chicago, and all the great songs that he did, that was pretty amazing. One of those memories that you cling on to. So with that said, I hope that you're not too jealous or anything.
I'm definitely jealous now, Dave. I wish I was in your shoes right now. You know what I mean?
well, that was before cell phones, before cameras and stuff. And so I have absolutely no proof that I was even there. So let me ask you this. Here's another question for you. I love asking this question. So what was your very first job when you were a kid?
I was a dishwasher. Yes,
okay. Gotcha.
I worked at there's a restaurant called the Holiday Inn Showcase in Cheektowaga, New York.
Cheektowaga, suburb of Buffalo.
So I'll share a funny story with you since you asked that question, right? So
yeah,
I started off as the dishwasher, and they chose me to be Santa Claus. I'm not a big heavy person, all right. They actually had to stuff pillows in my stomach to make me look like I was big, and I was at that point I was like really thin skin, and they took these big pillows, they stuffed them in me, right? They dressed up like Santa Claus, like, hey, we want you to play Santa Claus. I'm like, okay. So I played Santa Claus, and after the event was over, I was so hungry. There was a fish sandwich on the thing, so I took it, I ate it, and they actually fired me for eating a fish sandwich after I played Santa Claus for them. So it's like,
oh my gosh.
Yes, we be Santa Claus. I'm hungry. I eat a fish sandwich, and boom, you fired me the same day. So that was pretty funny. So,
oh my gosh,
that's one of my funny stories. I got fired for eating a fish sandwich there, Dave.
Oh man, that's rude. That's very rude of them, really. When you think about it, they didn't even get paid for looking like somewhat like Santa Claus. Well, back to your reindeer then. So I just made a list of my kids make fun of me of all the gazillion jobs that I've had, and actually. Several of them I got fired from. So I guess I'm psychologically unemployable. I have to be an entrepreneur or do something myself, because that's more fun. It's more risky and more challenges, but it is more fun. So anyway, so you're actually an upstate New York guy growing up then?
I am. I'm originally from Cheektowaga. We like to call it Cheekto Vegas, New York. And I went to Maryville High School there. I went to the Columbia School of Broadcasting. I did my internship at KISS 98.5 in Buffalo.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I interned for about 4 years. From there, I went to Pennsylvania. I got my first radio gig at WESB up in Bradford, PA.
Wow.
Worked there for a while. And then it's like I was sick of the snow and the cold and all that crazy stuff. So had an opportunity to work for the new 94.1 up in Lexington, North Carolina. And so went online, did my on-air check and went down there, got hired on the spot. And, the next day I'm coming back home, renting out a U-Haul truck, and I'm driving all the way up to North Carolina. Living in the mountains, by the way. So here's a guy from New York, never lived in the mountains before. I want to pursue my dream, and my goal is to keep in radio broadcasting. And so stayed there for a while, opened up my DJ business. And then from there, still, stayed in radio, did some things, so on and so forth. And then fast forward, here I am today with Music Dreams USA Radio. So it's been a really cool ride. And, you met some really amazing people along the way, and I look forward to what tomorrow brings for us. But it's a really exciting field to be in. It's a lot of people say it's very cutthroat. It can be, but I think if you stay focused and if you really pursue your dreams and your goals, and if you network and if you keep good relationships with people, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna go back to that person at some point in your career. You can go back to that person because you're gonna need a favor. So. Yeah,
exactly. So the famous Dick Clark from American Bandstand from years ago, he had two quotes that I remember. You can tell who's been in radio the longest, the one with the biggest U-Haul.
Yeah, I like that one.
If you get my drift. And the other one he used to say was, if you haven't been fired at least once, you haven't been in radio.
That's so true. I mean, who's not been fired in radio? I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I never got fired in radio. I mean, come on.
Of course.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. So I had a neat experience, again, years ago, before there were cell phone cameras. Little Richard came into our station in Kansas City for an interview with our overnight guy who played all the wonderful black gospel music. And I asked my friend Bruce, hey, Bruce, take a picture of me and Little Richard. Well, he gets the Kodak little Instamatic camera, and I'm standing there next to Little Richard, and he says, Dave, there's no film in the camera.
Oh, no.
So once again, I have a neat story that I cannot prove in any way that it really happened.
Oh, wow. That's too cool. That's too funny.
So we want to make sure that everybody can get a hold of you here. And I think I had it here somewhere. Let me fix this up for you real quick here. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Let me change this ticker. Okay, at the bottom of the screen, musicdreamsusa.com. Is that right, Russell?
Yeah, that would be our website. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, we want to encourage everybody to get a hold of Russell and meet this guy. He's very cool. He's very helpful. He loves working with people, small businesses, people in need, and I just appreciate you having you on my show, Russell. Anything else you'd like to share before we kind of wrap things up here?
Well, yeah, thank you so much. It's good to catch back up with you. I know it's been a few years. I mean, that's just the way, sometimes, the careers go, right? But you've always been a great friend, and we definitely respect you and all that you're doing. So best of luck to what you're doing, and out there watching the show right now. Yeah, definitely give us a shot. We might be the new kids on the block, but a lot of experience, a lot of talent, and I'm quite confident whatever your needs are, that we can certainly help you. So give us a try. We'd love to work with you.
You're listening to the Fresh Start Podcast with my guest, Russell Kaye. Thanks, Russell. Good to see you, man.
You too. Take care. Have a wonderful day.